So my car lift just got delivered and today I'm gonna set it up. The instructions recommend to call in professionals to do it, but since I'm passionate about learning, I figured I'll do it myself and record it in the process. First and foremost was to make sure the post wasn't gonna hit the tree, which in this case it was, so I had to cut off a limb. With that out of the way, I was free to lift the post with my dad and set it where we initially marked it up. The point of this was to mark the 6 holes so later we could drill them out with a hammer drill at approximately 4 inches in depth. When all 6 holes were drilled and blown out, we moved the post back over them and hammered in the anchor bolts until they were flush. Before torquing them down though, I had to add shims wherever it needed them, so it's a good thing they came with the lift. Once the adjacent post was set and anchored in, I got my torque wrench out and set it to 90 foot-pounds. The instructions, however, recommended 90 to 100 foot-pounds, so I went a little over on every bolt. With both posts planted on the ground, it was time to move on to the easier stuff like installing the power unit. This thing literally took 2 bolts, and while I'm not happy about it having a gap here, that's how it's supposed to go. Next was the installation of the limit sensor, and that was the easiest thing ever. It just had 2 brackets, a metal rod, and a sensor that acted upon movement. The other thing that was easy to install were the 2 cable wires. My camera angle sucked, but basically it works with the pulley system. One end bolts down in the middle of the post, and the other end bolts down to the other post, but at the bottom. Then you take the other cable wire and do the same thing, but opposite. The release lever was the only other cable that used pulleys, and that too ran from one side of the post to the other side. This part was important to install because it allows the cars to come down once you're finished. The last piece of the puzzle was putting in the hydraulic lines. I'm not gonna go too much into detail only because it's gonna be different on every lift, but to put it simply, there's 3 hydraulic lines with one being shorter than the other 2. It's impossible to get them wrong since the ends are specific to the location, but after that you're free to put in the arms. The shorter arms go in the front and the longer arms in the back. They're held on by a really large pin, and that's about it. I wish I could have lifted the car today, but I'm stuck on the electrical part. If I'm trying to build a shop, I need to make sure I measure twice and cut once, so to speak, so it's important I wire everything correctly the first time.